Hi, welcome back. If you're still with me, hopefully you're getting something out of all of this. Um, in any case, moving on with relationships. So we discussed a little bit about, and I say a little bit because we're only touching the tip of the iceberg on a lot of this stuff. I could spend hours just talking about independence and interdependence and codependence, never mind all this other stuff, but I'm trying to keep it brief. And in future videos, I might get into more of these topics as they feel more relevant. In any case, with regards to what even defines those levels of relationship, it's energy flow, right? And I know that sounds hokey, but everything in life is about energy, how we feel, right? Energy, emotion. It's just the way it presents in a lot of ways. But in any case, if you think about a relationship, if we're talking about an intimate relationship, like a partnership, what are the different things that we look for within that dynamic, right? We're looking for love. Now, that is a can of worms, right? It's a Pandora's box, if you will, because people define love differently. They experience love differently. If you think of the 5 love languages, which I've talked about in a previous video on balance, right? Some people, they need more words of affirmation. Other people want more quality time. Other people want more of that physical intimacy, okay? Other people like to just give gifts or acts of service, if you will. All of us experience love on all of those levels, but we typically, depending on who we are as a human being, may gravitate to one or two of those more with regards to how we receive love or how we give love. So hopefully we're matching up with someone who understands our love language and can feel love from us when we're trying to communicate that in whatever form that may come across. But what sets an intimate relationship apart from a casual relationship? And I'm not even talking about the physical part of it. I have to be careful on YouTube. So I don't mean to be coy with my language. But in any case, obviously in a partnership type relationship, there is that physical intimacy, right? That hopefully we're not sharing with other people, that we're only sharing with our chosen partner, and that there is that desire, reciprocal desire, okay? There's also a deeper sense of love or security, if you will, that's shared between two people. It says, I'm your person. I'm here for you. And how that's expressed and how that's received is different. And sometimes people grow apart in those areas. Like maybe at one point they vibed on the same wavelength in the sense that how they gave and received was very much in tune. But then someone might evolve or grow, or hopefully everyone is throughout their life. We don't want to stay stagnant energy in anything. Well, if you think about physicality, stagnant cell development can create cancer. Well, let's use that metaphorically to a bigger sense. It can create cancer within a relationship where maybe it kills a relationship. So we don't ever really want to stay stagnant. We want to continuously grow through gaining insight within ourselves, that self-awareness, self-accountability, and even like what we want to aspire to, right? We don't want to stay stagnant. And be careful that we don't mistake stagnancy for change or lack of change, right? Words that we carry and hold to things are powerful and can often keep us stuck. If we're, and I'm only saying this because it reminds me of someone I know, but if we're change adverse, we may not call that stagnant because maybe our fear of change, for whatever reason, hasn't really been understood yet. And that's why it's so important to do this, gain that deep insight, because it helps us understand the behaviors in which we engage in, whether that's within a relationship dynamic or even just in our own lives, in our own thought processes, our own belief systems. Okay. So these are all very important things to gain insight of. It doesn't mean you have to share it with people. Hopefully you have at least one or two people that you could, but it helps you understand yourself and the trajectory that you're on. Okay. But again, back to the relationships. Usually in an intimate partnership, you're going to have that physical connection that you're not going to have with everyone else, hopefully. You're going to have more of that deeper love language where it can give security and make someone feel honored and loved. And then there's usually a financial aspect, because in this world that we live in, we, unfortunately need money, right? So there's going to be that form of energy flow between the two, and how that plays out from relationship to relationship is going to be very different. Some people like to keep their money separate. Other people, it's like, well, we're in this together, so what's the point? Let's throw it all together. And again, how that plays out really comes down to one's belief systems, their experiences. Usually if someone's been burned, if you will, in the past, whether that's with money or love or physical intimacy, okay, because it's not always a pleasant experience depending on your situations and experiences, right? So what we do experience in life really plays out in how we present within relationships. And that's not judgment. That's not you're wrong, you haven't healed, or you haven't done this. Oftentimes healing comes through relationship. It comes through being with someone who makes us feel safe, who makes us feel loved, who helps us when we do our deep dives within ourselves. We just need to be careful of that word need, right? We all need people, okay? Because much like I've said in previous videos, is that we're social animals. We're pack animals in a sense. You see this with children and in our different dynamics. We like to belong to a bigger group, regardless of our level of independency, right? We still like to belong. We identify as being of different groups, whether it's I identify as a mother, or I identify as a veteran, or as a Christian, or as a I don't know, you name it. In my case, a social worker, right? And we all identify as parts of bigger wholes because we do like to feel connected. That's why we have hobbies, and we identify with people who also like those hobbies or other things, It's that need for connectedness. We're not meant to be isolated. So, in any case, how those different energies like money, intimacy, love, loyalty, how that's all expressed, how that's all experienced, has a lot to do with where we come from, what we've experienced in our lives, and the belief systems we've integrated around those things. Sometimes we feel we have to be 100% before we can enter into a relationship. Well, I got news for you. Nobody is 100%. Nobody. I don't care how evolved or highly vibrational they are. Part of just being here on this planet and this experience is growth, which means no one's coming into it 100%. And we probably don't leave 100% either, but the goal is to continue to grow, to continue to evolve, and to help others along the way. Obviously not the ones that are going to take advantage. That doesn't mean we can't live truly in our authenticity. I don't have to be, for lack of a better term, a jerk to somebody just because they may present more like a jerk, right? So Another part of relationship is reciprocity. It's keeping flow and making sure that what the efforts that we put in, that we're also getting out within those types of partnerships. Okay, whether that's money, I work, you work, maybe we work in different fields, but we're both working towards a whole, right? Or maybe you can't work, so I do that, but there's other things you can do and bring into this relationship that makes me feel good, and it balances out. But again, we have to be careful. Am I feeling good because I'm feeding ego? Is this more codependency? Or am I feeling good because I feel healthy, loved, and secure with this person? And is that pushing me to grow within myself and not just depend on that person for those feelings, right? And that's key in a healthy relationship. We don't want to be with someone because they make us feel good, but that's it. And we never feel good alone, okay? We want to be interdependent. We want to be able to be independent if for whatever reason a relationship doesn't work out. But what makes us interdependent is that understanding that other people can enhance our lives, make us grow, okay, and not stay stagnant. And that's key. So regardless of how good someone makes us feel, if the relationship as a whole remains stagnant, that there's no growth within yourself, no growth within the other person, and we just kind of stay in the same old over and over and over and over, it's hard to grow through that. So sometimes change is required. And that, again, like everything else, is on a spectrum and can be around a lot of different things. So I don't mean to be obtuse around that. It's just I am trying to keep these videos a little shorter, and this one's getting long. So I'm going to end this one here, and I'll get into more of communication and more of that flow in my next video. So hopefully you stay with me, and I'll talk to you more soon. All right. Bye.